PayTm seems to be in real trouble. The company lost 40% of its value in just 2 days. The stock price crashed from 770 to 487 in just 2 trading sessions. And that's 2 back-to-back lower circuits. The reason for this crash is some illegal business operations in the payments bank division. So today we will first try to understand the concept of a payments bank and then the wrongdoings of PayTm. Let's begin. Namaste and welcome to Retail Investing. Back in the year 2013, very few Indians were part of the banking system. We are talking about the concept of financial inclusion. So here is some data by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund on the status of India's financial inclusion as of 2011. The main parameters of financial inclusion are branch penetration, deposit penetration, and credit penetration. If you compare India's financial inclusion data with that of China's in 2011, it was disappointing. India had only 30 bank branches in every 1000 kilometers, while in China it was more than 1400. And please remember that India's population density is 3 times that of China's. The other parameters were equally bad or even worse. You can study them in detail if you want. And by the way, this data is from the official website of the Reserve Bank of India. So this situation caught the government's attention and they decided to do something about it. An expert committee on financial inclusion was formed. It is popularly known as the Nachiket More Committee, and it was formed by Dr. Raghuram Rajan in 2013 after he became the governor. The main recommendation of the committee was to create a new class of banks called payments banks, and their goal would be to provide banking services to the people who had no access to it. As of now, there are 6 payments banks in India and PayTm is one of them. A payment bank differs from a regular bank mainly in size, and payment banks are not allowed to give out loans or credit cards, but they can issue debit cards and they can also accept deposits of up to 2 lakh rupees. So it is quite clear that the payments banks were created to improve financial inclusion, and for that reason the government made it easier to start a payments bank than a regular bank. Right now the Reserve Bank, which is the regulator of the banking industry, is really angry with PayTm. From the 1st of March 2024, PayTm Payments Bank is not allowed to take new deposits. They are not allowed to do the wallet business and the fast tags business. Now before this bank, the Reserve Bank had already directed PayTm to stop onboarding of new customers on the payments bank platform. And the reason for that is that PayTm was not following the rules. PayTm was not doing full KYC of customers. They were not doing full KYC of accounts which are older than 1 year. And they were also keeping more money in accounts than it was allowed. You see, payment banks are not allowed to accept deposits of more than 2 lakh rupees. These rules are in place to prevent 2 kinds of corrupt activities: money laundering and related party transactions. The Reserve Bank recently conducted a system audit and they found that large volumes of transactions were happening and the origin of funds could not be traced because proper KYC was not done. This is very common in money laundering cases. It was also found that PayTm opened 1000 deposit accounts with the same PAN card. This clearly looks like money laundering. These days, the Enforcement Directorate is very active in enforcing the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. If they get involved, PayTm will face a lot of legal trouble. The second issue is of related party transactions among the 3 entities of PayTm: 197 Communications, PayTm Payment Services, and the PayTm Payments Bank. The shareholding pattern is a bit complicated. You will not see any promoter in the list of shareholders. Vijay Shekhar Sharma and 197 control the company with joint ventures. But Vijay Shekhar Sharma does not identify as a promoter. This creates the situation for dubious related party transactions. According to the management of the company, the worst case scenario after this punitive action by the Reserve Bank is a loss of only 300 to 500 crores at the EBITDA level, and the fund managers estimate a 5 to 15% fall in the earnings per share. Now here is some interesting news. After the PayTm stock hit its lower circuit on 2nd February, Morgan Stanley Asia bought shares worth 244 crore rupees at 487 rupees per share. That is roughly 0.8% ownership of PayTm. This means Morgan Stanley expects a lot lot of upside in PayTm. But retail investors also need to remember that Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway sold its entire stake in PayTm while booking losses. Warren Buffett's two golden rules of investing do not allow him to book losses. Then why did he book losses? It is quite possible that back in November 2023, they already knew that PayTm was not complying with the regulations, and these violations, which indicate money laundering, actually raises questions on the management's integrity. After reading 50 plus annual letters written by Warren Buffett to the shareholders of Berkshire Hathaway, I can assure you that it is unacceptable for him when the management's integrity is in question, as it is with me. It would not be an exaggeration to use the word scam for PayTm's non-compliance issues, because they were all intentional. It might take 10 years to build a reputation, but only 10 minutes to ruin it. Losing money while doing a business is okay, but losing reputation is not okay.